Alright, y'all, taking you guys through a few of my core stability hip flexor strengthening exercises that I incorporate into my workout to help me to develop hip strength and help me to sprint faster. So sprinting comes from the hips, guys. So if you're trying to sprint as fast as you can or run as fast as you can, any sport that involves explosive movement, the hips is what you need to focus on. And you have to get very specific with your hip strengthening exercises. So the first one I'm locking in here is some elevated leg glute bridges. And as you can see, I'm using a mini band to help with a little added resistance. And I'm going single leg, raising my hip, keeping that hip raised and focusing on driving my knee. So the second one I'm doing here is some weighted knee drive where I'm standing and I'm driving my knees to my chest with a moderate weight. I'm using a 10-pound kettlebell here. And as I'm demonstrating, you don't want to be breaking at the hip and try to bend. You want to be upright and try to be as tall as possible. Squeeze your glute and focus on that pelvic tilt. That's going to give you a nice glute and hip engagement. So I'm only sticking to 5 to 10 reps on each side, and the goal is not heavyweight, guys. The goal is full range of motion. So I'm focusing on that knee drive, trying to remain tall and be as relaxed as possible. If you do not have a kettlebell, you could use a band, you could use a dumbbell and strap it around your foot, or you could stand, you could hang and do this exercise. Right here is another example of a great core and hip stability exercise that you could incorporate. I'm hanging and I have a band on and I'm trying to drive my knee with alternate motion. This one, I'm focused on full range. I'm trying to drive and extend. And these are great, guys. And the beauty about these is you can be doing these all year round. You don't have to do them just in the background season. This right here is one of my all-time faves. Now we're getting very specific. As you can see, I'm trying to mimic that angle that I would get in when I'm trying to push off the blocks or from a three-point start. So again, I'm using a long band this time, and the goal is to drive that knee. Don't flatten your back too much or dip your hip too much. You want to squeeze your abs and focus on hip range of motion. What we want is full range from the back and try to drive the knees between the elbows. Again, 5 to 10 reps. Don't rush it. Next one I'm doing here is for some hip and glute stability. So this one is going to burn the glutes, guys. It's going to burn the hamstrings. As you can see, my back foot is elevated. And all I'm doing is jumping off that front foot and landing on my midfoot. So I don't want my heel touching the ground at all for this one. So watch my heel. So I go up. Heel doesn't touch the ground, up. Heel doesn't touch the ground, up. This is great to develop single leg strength and hip strength in general. Last one, and the next one I'm doing here is I'm going to go from a crouch position to a step up. And also I have a band on to give me added resistance. This one is perfect. Teach you to be explosive, teach you to push away from the ground and get very quick. So this is perfect for somebody who you're trying to teach how to master their start, teach how to master the acceleration position. So this is perfect for them. This one is very good, guys. I wouldn't go too heavy with the band. I would keep the band very light, and also don't go too high with the box either. You want the box below knee level, so you don't want a high box, right? Next one I'm doing here, this is one of my all-time faves. I'm switching off one leg onto the next leg, but I have a mini band on my feet. And also I'm trying to keep my hands out in front of me. If you really want to test this one, guys, you can do it with your eyes closed. I don't recommend that because it's very hard. I'll say build yourself up from going single leg pause to single leg pause and into single leg switches. The minute you can go from the pause to just alternate switches, then you're getting more advanced. All right, so let me show you again here from the front. You want to keep your arms at shoulder level, switch, 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 and switch. And the last one I'm doing here is, this one is I'm going to teach you how to engage hips when you're in almost like your upright position, right? I'm using the box to put my foot on top of the box, like tap the box. You don't have to. I'm going to show you guys both ways how to do it. So right there, you're trying to drive that knee, tap the box quickly, and pull it back. The band is going to be pulling your foot back. So your goal is to drive that knee and stay upright. You never want that hip dipping. You always want to maintain that upright posture. So switch to the next side. We do the same thing. Again, we don't want hips dipping. We want to be upright, slight bend in the knee, and we're trying to switch as fast as I can. One side is going to feel a little bit easier than the other side. So just pay attention to that and then try to master both sides. So now I'm going to show you guys what it looks like without the bench. So the bench is a little bit more advanced. So I wouldn't go with the bench if you're a beginner. Right here, same movement, right? I'm trying to come up and down. For this one, you could go a little bit quicker. You could time this one, or you could do reps, whatever works. And all of these exercises can be done 2 to 3 days throughout the week. You could do them before your strength training session, or they could work as a training session by itself. Follow for more training tips.
And you know I run it back. I want all the noise on the track running